Alright, hello. Welcome to the transits of planet Earth. Man, where to begin? So, we had a new moon yesterday, and I guess the new moon is also today. I really see it as very much like a full moon, where you have the peak day, where you definitely have, the opposition, or in this case, the conjunction of the sun and the moon. And you have a day before and a day after, where that energy pervades, essentially. And so here we are, still in this new moon, and I have to say I'm so excited, because in comparison to the new moons of the past couple months, this is really moving us all forward, and really taking some big steps, getting out of basically the mire of karmic energies that we've been in for the last, I don't know, 9 months now, maybe more like 7 or 8. But Mars has been in Libra. Yes, Mars will still be in Libra for this entire new moon. But a couple things. First of all, we are in Gemini. So right now, Mars in Libra is actually trine the Sun, for example. 8 degrees, 9 degrees. Mars is 9, by the way. Sun's 8. But, and that was trine with the new moon conjunction, too. So when the moon was there, too, all the more energy. So that's cool. What else is cool? Mars is in retrograde. Awesome. Venus is no longer in Aries, adding to the Grand Cross. Again, there's no such thing as bad energies. There have been positive, beautiful things that have happened with these energies. We need to go through them. We all needed to go through these challenges. For example, it's really encouraging to see, now that Mars has been in Libra for some 7 months now, which is bizarre. Mars doesn't take that long in any sign usually, let alone the sign of its detriment, or one of them anyways. It's been really good to see that this challenging energy has made us more peaceful as a world. I've seen it in everyday life. I've seen it as a whole, of all the threats and all the, near explosions that have been going on in this world. I don't think that any of the threats that occurred, or rather that were threatened, were going to occur. Again, yes, some people are so pessimistic and they say, oh my god, but Syria and this, and yes, all those things are absolutely horrible. For sure, we need to get that done. We need to figure that out as a world. And we need to stop being apathetic. And that's a big thing about this energy. I think it's very important that we all take to heart that we can't be apathetic about what's happening on this world. No matter how far away it seems, it is connected to where we are now. And ultimately, those are human beings going through those horrendous challenges. And just stuff that's insane, truly. But overall, is this world getting more peaceful? Yes. Is it getting more technological? Yes. Is it necessarily linked, peace and technology? No. Are we making good use of technology to enforce peace? Yes. Social media, and we all know. I mean, perfect example. Here we are conversing through this YouTube video. We're sharing knowledge. We're sharing our lives with each other. And that's ultimately what we're meant to do. As we progress and get more and more technologically advanced, we also need to be more advanced as human beings. We need to live our lives with love, with compassion, with more intelligence. But mostly love and compassion. That's the ultimate intelligence, I find. So this new moon, man, yay. We're moving forward. Yes, the Grand Cross is still there. Uranus is starting to escape it, as is Jupiter. But I know Jupiter is done with retrogrades for this year, but I believe Uranus does go retrograde. But in any case, the bulk of it, we're done. In the next, I want to say, like, month and a half-ish, maybe 2 months, Mars will be progressing out of Libra into Scorpio. And then the Grand Cross will be completed for 2004. And I don't think we're having another Grand Cross in the near future, at least in the next, 2 years or so. I'm guessing... Actually, I don't think we are. We'd still have the square of Uranus and Pluto, which is so very fun. But that's going to be a lot more in the background now. Because Mars and Jupiter being more personal planets, especially Mars, so close to Earth and whatnot, that energy is very much more present. It's more obvious to us, especially since we've had Venus in Aries and Mars in Libra. So we've had an interesting swap of male and female where women have been much more active, much more aggressive, much more out there. And men have been a lot more, okay, let's work together, guys. And again, it's been really funny, especially this last day. There have been a lot of examples to me in everyday life of times when guys could have blown up and been stupid and ego and just silly evolved monkeys, But instead us guys have been rising above our more animalistic urges, especially the silly urges for violence and for domination and all that stupid shit. And have been a lot more about, okay guys, let's let's be rational and logical and let's work together. So awesome, we're learning shit. Yay. Where we are now, we're moving even into better dimensions, better realms of human understanding and human consciousness. We have a really sweet sextile going on right now. Mercury just entered Cancer. Venus just entered Taurus. Couple things. First of all, sextile, yay, they're supporting each other. Communication, especially of an emotional nature, especially of a feminine nature, is very much supported right now and encouraged by what's going on. Whereas Venus in Aries was all about, not just in women, although very much so in women, because Venus is one of the feminine planets, but for everyone, because everyone's impacted by all the planets. Instead of being aggressive and forthright and whatnot, Venus in Taurus is very much a loving, affectionate, hugging, physical, embracing, artistic, beautifying energy. So this is going to be nice after moving around so much for this last month or so with Venus in Aries, especially conjunct Uranus in Aries and impacting that Grand Cross. We've all been kind of going, having fun in the process, but just going absolutely crazy, trying to find the ultimate adventure. And now it's time to relax, to calm down, to enjoy the good life. It's the end of spring, you know, let's get in touch with the seasons here. Rather, in the northern hemisphere, it's the end of spring. In the south, I suppose it's end of fall, really. Which, you know, hey, winter's fun too. In this technological age, we no longer have to fear winter. As long as we don't regress. But again, we won't regress. I do not sense that we'll regress. We'll always be moving forward. And because human beings' consciousness is moving forward. It's not anything about arrogance of saying, oh, we'll always, you know, get there. It's only because we are growing that I know that we'll always get there. That this world has, first of all, and still in one piece is a great, great sign. After all the challenges of this last century with technological warfare that could have ended and snuffed out life here so quickly, so easily, we're still here. We're still here. Again, it's important to not be apathetic. It's important to do everything that we can. But let your partners, your fellow human beings, do their job too. I think that's very important, especially with Mars and Libra, is to recognize how important it is to be an individual, but also how important it is to work in a framework of colleagues, you know? And so if you look at the Earth that way, and all of your colleagues, and is all other life here on Earth, and especially other human life, we're all here to help each other grow and learn and be more powerful, but not powerful over other people, but powerful over ourselves, powerful over our demons, understanding ourselves mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. So that's awesome. We're gonna have definitely more of that, which is fantastic. Let's see what else is happening. Let's go forward to the full moon. Full moon, June. Okay, June 3rd. So, yes, the new moon was yesterday, May 28th. Still in Moon in Gemini now, so we still got that energy functioning with us. The full moon is June 13th, June 13th, 2014. I'm going to pull that up now to take a look at what this cycle entails. So yeah, if you're interested in learning about the lunar cycles, I did a video about that a while ago. Don't remember exactly what I was talking about, but I know I talked about at least a little bit about the new moon and full moon and whatnot. And I believe that one is called Moons, something like that, Lunar Cycle Moons. It's in the Moon playlist on my main page, called Natal Chart Placements, Moon Playlist. Voila. So, let's take a look. Alright, so I've pulled up the full moon. Hold on, before we take a look, let's pull up two charts. Okay, so we got full moon and then we got a new moon. What do we have to see? So, that's right, very fun. So this is a Geminian cycle. The sun is in Gemini, the moon, as with every new moon, is in the same sign, and Mercury goes retrograde during this time. Yay! How fun. So Mercury is in Cancer right now, 0 degrees, like I was saying, and I believe it's June 7th. That's the date that pops up in my head. June 7th is when, around there, is when Mercury goes retrograde. Now, what does that mean? I also have another video for that. I do a lot of videos. Check that out if you're interested for the particularities and some other in-depth advice about Mercury and retrograde. But to sum it all up here, or at least a little bit, When Mercury goes retrograde, shit falls apart. As per communications, as per immediate plans, as per technology. Basically, everyday life becomes a little bit more challenged because Mercury is having its mischievous fun with us. Its orientation towards the Earth is not the smoothest. In fact, from the Earth's perspective, it looks like Mercury's going backwards. Of course, that's not happening. Mercury's still orbiting, just like all the planets. But it's certainly, there's just a breakdown between the energies of that planet and where we are now. And Mercury, considering it rules the mind, rules thoughts and expressions, social gaffes, saying things you don't necessarily mean, plans breaking down, being late, things breaking down like phones especially, cars especially, and I would say most of all, not being able to communicate and think in a very rational manner is definitely a hallmark for this energy. So considering it's going to be in Cancer, and retrograde by the time of the full moon, basically the exact same degree that we're at now, it's going to go forward in the next, say, week or so. Then June 7th, it's going to go retrograde, and by the time of the full moon, it's back at 1 degrees Cancer, and it's conjunct Sun, very loosely. The Sun's at 22 degrees, around there. So, what does this mean? It means that we need to, ironically, in this time of Gemini, this season, this year, be more intellectual, be more communicative, as much as possible, yes. But we need to do it in a very subjective manner. We need to embrace our feminine side. We need to embrace logic, yes, but we need to even more so embrace our intuition. And especially since Jupiter's in Cancer, Venus is in Taurus, and by the time of the full moon, it's smack dab in the middle of Taurus. Mars is in Libra. We're meant to be a lot more harmonious with our thoughts, our communication with others. This is a great time to talk with others about things you've never talked about with them and to really create strong bonds between you and other people, not only through the mind but through your emotions as well. So I'll leave that for you to decipher. What else? Outer planets haven't moved much, as they usually do not in such short periods of time. Saturn's still retrograde, so that's going to add an interesting karmic link to things. Whenever Saturn's involved, it's so karmic, and especially in deep emotional ways, because it's Scorpio. So, in this last year and a half, we've all been exploring our deeper emotions, having the courage to face inner demons, to go even farther, to be able to express ourselves deeper. And everyone around us obviously has had these challenges as well. And this next lunar cycle, we're going to get a lot of insight into this. As Venus becomes opposite Saturn and Scorpio, especially during the full moon, we're going to have a lot of stuff building on this last lunar cycle. This last lunar cycle was Sun in Taurus, full moon Scorpio. And so to have Venus in Taurus opposite Saturn and Scorpio, a lot of the energies from this last cycle is going to be brought back up. And a lot of developments and progressions are going to be going on with these energies in our lives specifically. So we're not quite out of the woods as per exploring our demons and getting them out there and whatnot. But this is really good because with Venus and Taurus especially, we're having a solid base to work with, and we'll be a lot more loving and affectionate with ourselves, most of all, which is very important to be able to excavate and exercise those inner emotional demons. Lovely. As well as not even just emotional demons, but our psychic gifts. Our gifts of understanding through subtler ways, through intuition, through instinct. And indeed, because Mercury's in Cancer, Jupiter's in Cancer still, Neptune in Pisces, Saturn in Scorpio, we are going to have so much psychic energy going on. And so, embrace that, understand it. With Gemini Sun, we need to understand that and be able to explain it to ourselves. And it's okay if we don't have to, explain it through words and verbally and outwardly. We don't have to do it like that necessarily. In fact, with Mercury in Cancer, it's a great time to kind of listen more, to observe more, to reflect more, and to understand things on a more internal basis. We've all been chatting like crazy since Mercury's been in Gemini this last 3 weeks, a month or so, especially since Sun's been in Gemini. So now I think it's time, the way I understand these energies is now it's time to kick back, to relax, certainly with Venus and Taurus, but still to be moving forward. Mars is in Libra, and we do need to be moving forward as much as possible. Again, Mars is in Libra though, so it's not going to be super easy. And if you feel like you don't have the energy to get things done, wait about a month and a half when Mars is in Scorpio. You'll have so much energy you won't know what to do with it. So prepare for that time. Figure out now, what are your priorities? What do you want to get done? What are your goals? Let's figure this out. If you do that now, do the more planning, the castles in the sky right now, when Mars comes around in Scorpio, especially conjunct that Saturn, we're going to be moving forward so much. Again, Saturn conjunct Mars, it won't be the most satisfying work, it won't be the most satisfying result, it won't be immediate, but it's going to be real, and you're going to feel it as you're doing it, going, yeah, I'm really doing something right now. This is going to be solid, which is good. So we all need patience these next couple months, and especially with Sun and Gemini, it's not going to be easy. But let's enjoy all these feminine energies. Let's embrace them, no matter what our gender. And let's really get in touch with our inner selves, our emotional selves, our logical selves. Let's unite these two selves. And when Mercury goes retrograde, let's have fun with the stuff that goes wrong. It's okay. We're going to survive if the phone breaks. We don't need to have a meltdown. Okay? We just need to relax. Do our best. That's all we can ever do in life, and that's all we ever need to do. It's amazing. Everything seems to work out, right? Nobody... Yeah. Mystery of life. Alright, is there anything else? I think that's pretty much everything. I'm still studying the North Node and South Node placements. It's really interesting. North Node's in Libra, South Node in Aries. To speculate on that, I haven't felt that. I felt that. We've had that for a couple of weeks now, I believe. And South Node and North Node are very interesting. They're basically said to be, they've been used for a long time. Some millennia, I'm guessing. And, I should know that. I actually don't know how long it's been used, but I know it's been at least used for the majority of this last century. In any case, South Node and North Node are said to represent past life and also where we're going in this life. And so just to speak a little bit about that. South Node is in Aries, North Node is in Libra. We've all been warriors, we've all killed, we've all raped, we've all pillaged. That time is behind us though, because we have a higher consciousness. We understand we can't do those things. People aren't animals, and indeed, animals aren't what we have, we treat animals so horribly on this planet. We need to get to a more peaceful state, for sure. And that's where the North Node in Libra comes in. We're working towards that. To have Mars in there, too, as challenging as it can be to have Mars in Libra, and to feel like you can't express your aggression directly a lot of the times. We're working on that. That North Node in Libra is getting us to be more aware of social justice in our world, to be more communicative and to be more harmonious with others, and to work together with others to really accomplish something great and accomplish something that makes the world a better place. So we're all learning how to do that. We've all been addicted to being a warrior for so many lifetimes. So many lifetimes. You can't escape it. This world has been so violent, and even just this last century. And it still is violent in several sectors of the world. But it's getting there. We're getting more peaceful, for sure. And the majority of the world is peaceful. We just need to expand that. And to, make the industrialized world even more peaceful and to get it to be less corrupt. Pluto and Capricorn for you. That'll be interesting, too, the opposition of Pluto and Capricorn and Mercury and Cancer. It should be very interesting. I think a lot of progress will be made as per unearthing corruption, especially around June 7th. And as things go retrograde, secret messages that should not be revealed will definitely be coming out on macrocosmic scales, governments, societies, and whatnot, and also microcosmic scale, individuals. It's going to be a very, very interesting transit. And, let me pull 3 cards. Alright. So, the past. Where have we been as a world? Overthinking, 9 of Swords. Overthinking, oh man. Trying to figure out so much. And ironically, for the past, we got a Gemini card. For the present, we got a Taurus card, which is reversed, because we just came from Taurus season, now we're in Gemini season. So, there you go. The retrograde is already influencing us in its own way, I'm sure. let's build. The present is all about patience, and especially with Venus and Taurus. That's where that's coming from. Let's build with patience, with love, with affection, with compassion, one step at a time, taking solid steps, building solid foundations, getting stuff done. We've been thinking a lot this past month. Mercury and Gemini, that's one of the most thinking signs there is. We've been overthinking because a lot of energies have been pushing us forward. Mercury and Gemini and Venus and Aries. At the same time, there have been a lot of challenges as well, and it hasn't been easy, and a lot of frustration has occurred. So now let's take what we've learned. Let's be solid, and let's move forward. Ironically, the future is Venus and Aries. The fuck? Let's move forward together, building together, being a team. This entire world being a team, and making solid changes for the better. Being inspired, being strong and powerful, but in positive ways. So that's where we're at. That's where we're going. That's where we are now. I wish you a very happy new moon, full moon, and after that, transit. Then I need to do more new moon videos. I'm going to try and do one every single cycle, because it's the new moon, the lunar cycle affects us in ways that even the sun can't touch. And it's our closest astronomical body. The moon is constantly regulating life here on Earth, the waters of life, and it connects us in ways that are even now unfathomable. So this is a brand new cycle. We are in the beginnings of this brand new cycle. And again, the full moon, the peak of this cycle will be June 13th, and then for another 2 weeks after that, it's going to be the resolution of that cycle before another new moon. So here we are now, 2 weeks, full moon, 2 weeks, another new moon. It's going to be fun. Let's enjoy it. Namaste.